Can you guys tell me about the Karma album then? The recording of it, because it's obviously been recorded quite a while ago now. So, how was the process?
Yeah, the writing process was a long process.
Yep.
Probably spent overall maybe 18 months.
Yeah, in total, yeah.
Total writing it. But sort of intense 6 weeks or so in a sort of writing house that we took out on a lake and wrote there for a while. And came out with 56 songs at the end. So to narrow that down to 18.
It's 18. We went in the studio with 18, and then in the studio after 2 weeks of pre-production, got it down to 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then we recorded it in 2 days, and it was really easy.
Or 7 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Plus more. But yeah, it was great. We worked with our dream producer, Gil Norton, and it was everything we imagined and a lot more. So.
What was the main reason behind choosing him as a producer?
We'd written a lot of the songs sort of not in a sort of bandy environment. We write quite well together, just sort of quietly, and sort of then we demo straight away. So we definitely brought like the band feel back into the songs.
Yeah, and he'd also done so many of our favourite albums as well.
Yeah, he's a big rock producer, so we wanted it to sound like a big rock record. So.
Okay. How did it feel with obviously the record label delays that kind of meant that the album was finished a long time ago, and then you ended up just being held? How do you feel like you were kind of held back by the situation?
Definitely. I mean, there'd always be one sort of release date way off in the future, and then every time you kind of got closer, it got pushed back further and further. And that was always it. It didn't ever feel like it was real, like it was ever going to come out when we were on the major label. So as soon as we got off, we set our own release date and didn't change once.
Yeah, stuck to it really well.
Yeah, so it was really frustrating, sort of. Yeah, I think.
It's a shame because they're nice people at the label, but it's just the way that those labels are.
Lack
2
of
weeks turns into 2 months, turns into 6 months, and yeah, like Anne says, lack of communication. There's so many people working on one project.
It just gets a bit confused.
What was it when obviously you decided to leave? Why did you decide to set up your own label rather than trying out with another indie label or seeing?
I guess it was like more a sense of we've been doing it on our own for really well before we signed a major deal. We'd never had any sort of deal before that, so I think it felt good to just it totally back in our hands and not have any middleman at all. It's obviously worked for us because it came out exactly how we wanted it to. So.
Were you surprised by the success on the release day of it going straight up to #1 in the rock charts and iTunes?
Yeah,
that was a really nice surprise.
Yeah, it was totally unexpected. We hadn't thought about that aspect at all, and then we saw it. It was great.
We were kind of worried because it'd been so long that our fans hadn't really got any proper music from us for a couple of years, and we were worried that
gone stale.
Yeah, we got stale, but they'd stuck with us, which was really nice.
Were you worried because obviously tours ended up getting delayed and delayed again, and then the album getting put back, that the fans would disappear then? And
yeah, that was the main concern sort of thing. That was one of our major reasons for leaving the label, because it did feel like not only the record was being pushed back, but we'd have to just hold back on everything like tours. So we wanted to be an album with an album tour. Which is it, so.
Tell me about Indigo Records and kind of the aim, because you've already signed another band to, I believe. What's the plan for the label?
Just to sort of give opportunities to other bands that, because I think a lot of bands think they have to sign a big major record deal, and that's the success of it. But the real success is actually getting it out and making a proper living from
Isn't it? Essentially getting signed is just the start of it, though, rather than
it's
the end goal.
It shouldn't be the sort of the final thing that you think, because I think that's what one of our issues was when we signed. We thought this is the pinnacle. We've done it now. We can kind of sit back, relax. But the truth is, you have to work 10 times harder.
Yeah,
really.
and we just learned that lesson. We've sort of had it done to us, so we know now it's sort of how you do it. It's not who you do it with.
Yeah.
So
is the idea to sign a lot of bands, or just to
have
a few bands that
we can that we really like listening to, and just help them out, sort of thing, give them the foot up to the next level.
And who's the first band that you've?
They're called Moraine. They're from Wakefield.
And what kind of made them appeal to you?
They'd had a couple of singles out over the past 2 years, but never really capitalised on what their potential is. So we want to take them to the next level.
They supported us a lot in the past, didn't they?
Yeah.
In
Leeds.
on tour.
Yeah, it's good to help.